Welcome, everyone. This is Monday, June 16th. Any questions, concerns, comments? We'll have a public comment section under number 10, and also before we take any vote, I will always try to give you the opportunity to state your point of view or comments before we do that vote. I'll ask for the roll call, please.
Mayor Cedar?
Here.
Councilmember Gottler?
Here.
Councilmember Kufa?
Here.
Councilmember Laporte is absent. Councilmember Paul?
Present.
Councilmember Volt?
Here.
Councilmember Westrick?
Here.
Motion to excuse Laporte.
Support.
Motion made, supported. Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Vote number 4, consent agenda A, City Council minutes of June 2nd, 2025, special and regular meetings, recommendation approve. And B is the Cemetery Board of Trustees minutes of May 6th, 2025, meeting recommendation receive.
Motion to approve A and B is presented. Support.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go to number 5, ordinance and resolutions. A, Resolution 2511, designate MDOT Street Administrator. Mr. DeShane.
That would be me, sir.
Tell us about this.
So before council is the resolution to appoint Mr. Duchesne as the MDOT Street Administrator to take the place of Mr. Bishop.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll support.
All right, the motion made, supported. Questions? Call the roll, please.
Westrick?
Yes.
Gottler?
Yes.
Kufa?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Bowles?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to number 6, reports of administration. Mr. Duchesne, what do you got tonight?
Very short. First of all, I want to thank everybody for welcoming me in this 10 days. Has been very interesting and positive, and I appreciate everybody's help in making the transition. And thank Mr. Bishop for providing me with some of the information on the way out the door that a newcomer certainly needs. And again, thank you all for reaching out and helping me with the transition. That being said, on the 2nd, I participated in the bond rating meeting, a discussion of the official statement regarding the sale of the general obligation bond that is taking place. I've sent you the final review. Standard & Poor's has issued a rating of AA- for the community, which is a very strong rating in Michigan. Very few AAAs exist in the entire state, and AA- is a very strong rating. There are very few AA pluses. So that being said, the bond sale will now take place on June 25th, and we are anticipating the approximately $5.7 million transaction to take place soon thereafter the sale is complete. On a personnel note, since I've been here, we have now hired one new employee, Trevor Gregg, is a full-time start date of June 23rd, so please welcome him to your city service, working in the water system plant. And that's all I have for tonight, Mr. Mayor.
I don't know how many members of council had a chance to read that bond rating statement, document. I didn't read the whole thing because some of it is unreadable, but some of it is in fact readable, and I was taken a little bit that numerous times, and maybe you can reflect on this for me, numerous times in that report it mentions the reason we got the strong rating was because of our strong fund balance. So I just thought that was something that we have some control over, and I was thought we get a AA- bond rating is good for us when we start trying to think finance.
I put a couple of key notes, Mayor and Council, in my transmission, in my superintendent's report to you. And they looked at the stable financial management with strong fund balances and they typically note those as a symbol of strength in financial planning and foresight and good practices. They also look at that as a fail-safe, especially this bond isn't against this particular millage, or it's not a revenue source that couldn't fluctuate. So in lieu of that consideration that it could fluctuate, having strong reserves is essential for the bond rating agencies when they give this kind of credit score, if you would. So I think the city of St. Clair should be very proud of its credit score and its practices. And of course, we all, for those of us who lived through the 2000s, be reminded that Michigan has the type of economy that can be variable at times, and it is with prudence that is the best practice when moving ahead and committing to large expenditures and operating a city is really, it's critical to know that you can survive in these short turndowns or recessionary times. So Standard & Poor's, I think, was very fair. They obviously noted that there has been some prior costs incurred that the city has to continue to deal with, such as the OPEB responsibilities, but I think they were very fair in dealing.
Thank you. Anything else from Mr. Duchesne?
I have a question about the Cox Road sidewalk. I don't know if this is a time, I mean, you kind of mentioned it in your report, but I do have additional questions about it. Is this a good time, Mayor?
If that's.
It's not anywhere else on the agenda, so I just,
Yeah, we can bring up
yeah.
Brian right now, from the superintendent.
I know we're behind because we talked about it, putting the shovels in the ground in April, and July's coming close. Can you just give us a little bit of update about what kind of a timeline we're looking at and what set us back?
Yeah, of course, we got the TAP grant for the project, so we're going through the Michigan Department of Transportation in order to get the approval of the plans, the specs, the environmental documents. There's a lot of supplemental documentation that has to go along with that. We've had the plans and specs done and ready to go for some time now. We've been going back, and even at that process, we were going back and forth with MDOT with comments, but we have those all addressed, and we've had those addressed for a while now, but we've been trying to get the environmental documents approved on that. They gave us some additional comments at the late April, 1st of May or so. They gave us some additional comments that we immediately addressed. Usually they respond back within a few days on that, but it took a month. We just got some additional comments, minor comments back last week that we've now addressed as well. That has set us back. Because of that, it's looking like it's probably going to be a fall construction by the time we get it bid through MDOT. Unfortunately, it's going to be a fall construction. As part of those environmental documents, they noted too that with the potential bat habitats, that tree clearing, because you're getting federal grant money through this project, that tree clearing and brush clearing as part of the project can't take place until October 1st at the earliest. It can only take place between October 1st and April 14th. So that limits you as well as to when you can do the construction. There's most likely no bats there, but unfortunately, there's very strict environmental regulations.
So at this point, we're not going to even begin construction until October?
It's looking that way, yes.
And this is nothing the city could have prevented, it's just what, unless we even, so even if we had started in April, we may not have been able to do this because of the bats?
Correct, yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep. I know there was also some questions I think Bob had mentioned too on the seawall. I don't know if you wanted me to bring that, an update on the seawall on St. Clair Highway too.
Oh, yeah, please.
While I'm up here. I did provide Mr. Duchesne and Mr. Beath some information late today. I know we were trying to find information on the seawall. We knew there were some geotechnical reports that had been done several years ago. We were not involved with that. McDowell and Associates back in 2011 had done some geotechnical reporting at that time before the seawall was placed as far as what recommendations were needed at that time in order to address the issues with the slope stabilization there. And the city did install the seawall there in August of 2011. Soon after that, it was noticed that there was some more settlement and some cracking on the back side of that wall. The road was eventually closed. I think, I wasn't involved, I wasn't here at that time, but I think it was really just a matter of monitoring for a while. But another geotechnical report was done back in 2016, and we now have a copy of that. The engineer that was involved with the project has since retired, so we were struggling to find the documentation from when these studies took place. But we, with the help of Steve Pangori, we were able to find these documents. Back in 2016, it was noted some recommendations that could take place. There was, I think, 5 or 6 different recommendations, and I've summarized those and again provided those to Mr. Duchesne and Mr. Beath. But one recommendation was to reroute St. Clair Highway away from the seawall, basically moving it to where the street would cross the railroad crossing a little further southeast, where the street would actually curve around closer to the Department of Public Works. And at that time, it was found that it was probably not that feasible to do that because you'd have to deal with the railroad and get a permit through the railroad, and that may not work out. There was another option of possibly providing additional soil on the front side of the wall, which would basically encroach into the Pine River, and again, there'd probably be permitting issues, and whether that would be permitted or not, it was unknown. But most likely, we'd have some issues with getting permitting on that. Another option was to lower the road 3 feet, which is going to be basically impossible with the railroad crossing. Another option was to remove the soils. Basically, the issue is the pressure with the soils is what the geotechnical reports have. That's basically what they've come up with, is that the pressure, the soil pressure is too great there, and that's what's causing the wall to move. So one option was to remove the soils down to the groundwater level, which was about 6 or 7 feet in depth, and put in a lightweight fill. And I can provide more information on that, and I have in my email that I sent today. But we did put an estimate on that. That was our recommended option back in 2016, was to remove soils and put the lightweight fill in. And it was roughly, with design, construction, engineering, and a contingency cost, it was almost $500,000 to do that repair. But that seemed to be the most cost effective, and we still believe that's the most cost effective way to correct the issue that's going on. As you're aware, probably about 6 months ago or so, we started seeing some settlement there and some cracking. The southbound lane of St. Clair Highway started to settle, and you can see where the guardrail has settled too. So that's why we've been trying to find these documents so we can come up with, and those dollars, that $500,000 amount was from 2016. So obviously those costs have increased. So, now that we found these reports, we'll update that estimate for you this week so you have a better idea what that cost is. I think, so back in 2016, again, I wasn't here, but it looks like basically the decision was to just keep that road closed and monitor to see if any movement, additional movement occurred with that wall, and that didn't happen. But then a few years ago, we made the repair to the road, fixed the road, reopened it to traffic, and now we're starting to see the issue with the soil pressures again. So I think I'll send more information on this. And like I said, I've just this afternoon sent some information on, but that's where we're at right now with the seawall.
So a few years back, somebody mentioned, like, maybe I'm mistaken, like styrofoam or something like that?
That's kind of what the lightweight fill, it's almost like a styrofoam, I forget what it's called. It's got an acronym, EBS. It's like a polystyrene material that's put in place of the soil. And it's a lightweight soil, so you don't have those pressures building up against the wall.
So is it moving the wall? The pressure is moving the wall toward
So we did
west?
Our survey crew did go out there recently and took some shots, compared it with the last time we did monitoring back in 2016. It's very slight movement that has occurred since 2016, but there's obviously been, with the road settlement, there's obviously some movement occurring again.
Does any of this have to do with the water table moving down?
I don't think so. The sheet piling that's there now is 35 feet in length. It's into the ground about 15 feet. But there was talk that maybe that sheet piling wasn't drilled deep enough, but it appears that it is.
So where we're at right now is you're going to go back and you guys are going to look at this?
Yeah, we'll tweak all the information back from 2016,
We'll come
update
back
the
and
estimate, and
see.
get it back to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to ask them something?
Is there any weight restriction on that road right now?
I don't believe there's nothing posted, I know. I don't think there is. But that could be an option too, potentially, we could look at.
You have anything else for us?
I might later on.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Mr. Duchesne, you have anything else?
Nothing further, sir.
All right, Mr. Downey, you have anything?
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
City departments, and then I think you have something.
Yes, just a couple quick things. As you entered the council chambers today, I hope you noticed the very large thank you note over there by the door that is from the graduating class of 2025, thanking the city and specifically the St. Clair Police Department for all their help during the senior car cruise that was held on May 18th. So each graduating senior signed that, and it's over there for you to look at. And secondly, clerk's office has been busy with two of the largest events coming to town. Next weekend is the St. Clair Art Fair, the 28th and 29th, and then of course the annual 4th of July fireworks show. And with the fireworks show, the city offices are always closed, so that will be Friday, July 4th, so our offices will be closed that day. All right, thank you.
Chief?
I just want to say, we got some events coming up. So this Saturday is Safety Town, and we've moved it from 9th Street to our own city park to use the amenities we already have. So that'll be this Saturday, 10 to 1. So if you want to stop by, there'll be police cars, fire trucks, all kinds of stuff. So it'll be a fun day. And then we have the art fair coming up, and then the 4th of July. And with the 4th of July, we're going to close M29. We're going to close it at Vine, and we're going to close it at J. We're going to close it Thursday night and reopen it Saturday morning. And we just feel, the way the world is now, that's the safest we can be for the amount of people come. The art fair would like it closed too, but I can't close a state highway that many times in a year. We closed it in January. We're going to close it on the 4th. We're going to close it the end of July for the boat races. It's a state highway, so we just got to tread lightly and hope everybody's safe. But it will be closed. To make some businesses happy, it's J to Vine. That's it. They can access the plaza and all the businesses from 3rd Street. And other than that, should be a fun night.
You said the 4th is on a Thursday,
What's the Friday?
or it's a Friday. Okay, gotcha. So Saturday morning, it'll be
Gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's thanks to West Haven Builders and Burgess. They're donating the concrete barriers because we were just going to, the barriers that the county has, the safety barriers, Algonac's using, that's pickerel tournament week. They've already got them reserved. We have them for the boat races, but they got them before I could get them. So for MDOT requirements, they got to be concrete barriers. So Burgess is donating those, and West Haven is going to put them out, and our DPW is going to put out the barricades in front of them. So
Thank you, Chief. Okay. D is authorities, boards, and commissions. Anybody have anything, committees or commissions? Before we go to 7, I would want to make a note, just long as get a minute that Member Laporte is here now. If no unfinished business, let's go to new business. A, approve city superintendent contract. Mr. Duchesne, you want to walk us through this a little bit?
I think we've captured the nature of the prior agreements that the city has entered into with the previous superintendents. There's nothing too remarkable about any of those to point out. I say that with some bias. The compensation, the terms, pension and retirement, obviously I will not be part of the MERS system and part of the defined benefit plan. The city will be making a 3% contribution and base salary on that. I will not be taking insurance benefits. That I will take the in lieu of. That is paid to all employees in the same manner for those waiving insurance. City liability insurance is, again, standard form. I believe the city has used the same language before. The car allowance is for all travel, local, outside of the area, wherever. There will be no claim mileage reimbursement. I don't speak against that for our employees. That's just, in my case, it's just too hard to know, and I have individual decisions of where and how I go, so I think it's better for council just to one amount. Bonding, reduction in benefits is a standard form that deals with anybody. It won't be an individualized reduction for this individual, which would be myself under the contract, unless it's applied to all other employees. Vacation and sick leave and holidays are the city's standards for administrative employees. Residency, I understand that will not be, the requirement will not require me to become a city resident, even though I do have to say we're looking at properties in the area, so who knows, I might be your neighbor someday. Evaluation and review job description, again, that's common language to the city, and it's fine with me. Termination deals with different types for cause and not for cause. For not for cause, severance made, again, under the terms that the city's used before. in any case, if paid off by unused sick time and vacation, if this is for no cause termination, and any difference up to a maximum of $25,000 would be paid, including a balance of 90 days between whatever the sick time and vacation accrual are to make that full. Other than that, the compliance with the contract and the binding clauses are, again, the city has seen previously. And I enter that for your consideration, and I find all of those terms to be acceptable.
In section 7, car allowance, is that number correct, 500?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm perfectly happy if you wish to double anything. Would be fine.
Well, I'll entertain a motion to approve the city superintendent's contract as written.
Make a motion to approve.
Support.
All right, the motion's made and supported. Is there questions? Yes, sir.
Bill Clement, 1374 South Riverside. You didn't mention how much a year you're gonna make, and you didn't mention what hours are you gonna be available at City Hall.
Sure, the salary's $120,000 annually. The hours will generally be available between 7:30 and 4:30. That is gonna be the standard week within, I'll work within those hours, a minimum of the 8 hours, try to be available, of course, subject to any other responsibilities out of the office. Appointments to see me would be appreciated, but not necessary.
7:30 in the morning?
Get me at 10:30 in the morning?
7:30.
7:30 in the morning? Probably get on the phone initially.
Ask you what hours are gonna be at City Hall. That's all.
Anybody else?
Can we walk in at 7:30 and see you?
I believe the contract says it's preferably, but it is not held to.
I get a, what is the first?
Okay, can you come up here again, Bill, in case we can get this on tape?
Yeah, I asked a question, he said he'd be there at 7:30 in the morning. Then I asked a question if I could come to City Hall and see him at 7:30 in the morning, and he said I could call him at 7:30 in the morning. Then I get the contract reads preferably. What is preferably? What is his hours?
Hours between 7:30 and 4:30.
Okay, so I should be able to walk in the office at 7:30 in the morning and see you.
Unless he has duties that change his schedule for the day, which he also answered you.
Okay, so that would be every day he's got duty changes? I guess my question is, what's your schedule? When can we see you?
I would say, if you need to see him at 7:30, I would call him in case, if he's coming into work and he gets a call something's wrong with the water plant, he might not be in City Hall.
And to be very frank, I usually work later than I work early.
So we can see you after 4:30?
Yes.
So I come to the door at 5 o'clock, you let me in to see you.
I don't know, what are you doing tomorrow afternoon?
I'm just asking what hours.
I'm just trying to answer without being argumentative.
What hours are you gonna be here so the public, taxpayers can see?
My general hours are between 7:30 and 4:30.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Call the roll, please.
Stotler?
Yes.
Kufa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
Hall?
Yes.
Bulls?
Yes.
Westrick? Cedar?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, B, approve state and local representation appointments. So, we need to appoint Mr. Duchesne to the what is it? We're at EDA,
Yep.
SEMCOG, NMDC, and MML Annual Convention.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion made, support, questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Vote. Go to C, appointment to Cemetery Board Trustees. With your approval, I'd like to appoint Bill Westrick Sr. to a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2027 to the Cemetery Board of Trustees.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? D, a recommendation for a 2025 sanitary sewer cleaning and CCTV investigation. Duchesne.
The report has been received from, and recommendation from AEW. Our representative is here if you have any questions. In fact, turn it over to him if we wish to make any comment.
Thanks, Steve. So this is basically a continuation from last year. Last year, we started doing a sanitary sewer cleaning and televising program, again, focusing on the kind of the downtown area, and we divided it into 3 districts to do it over 3 years. So last year, we cleaned and televised the sewers between the St. Clair River and 10th Avenue, and between Clinton Avenue and the Pine River. This year, we're looking at doing the section between Vine Street and J Street, and between the St. Clair River and 10th Avenue. And then next year, we would do the central area, and that's just based upon the way the sewers flow. As we're going downstream, we'll do the center area. We received 5 bids on May 28th. The low bid was received from Duke's Root Control at $90,812. That also included an alternate that the DPW had us add to the contract that will also clean and televise all of the storm sewers in the Hillside Cemetery. It's our understanding that's never been done before. It's kind of unknown where some of those sewers go, so that'll give us a better understanding of, one, the layout of the sewers in the cemetery, but also the condition, too, for potential repairs or sewer lining in the future. So our recommendation is to approve the project with the alternative for the cemetery to Duke's Root Control at $90,812.
So if we're on a 3-year schedule, are we about 65% of the way done at this point with the project? I mean, or is that, are we just looking at square footage or mileage of sewer line?
It's roughly all 3 districts are roughly the same, so yeah, we're about 33% complete right now.
Okay.
So after this program, we'll be about 67% complete within the older area of the city.
So do they map this as they do this for the, yeah?
We do, so yeah, so they clean and then they televise it, and then we do put all of the televising records on the city's GIS. So all employees of the city, any employee of the city can have access to the GIS, and they can go right to the video footage to see what issues there are in that sewer. And then at the end, we'll prepare a summary, a recommendation basically for future rehab, and kind of based upon available funds, try to phase that out over time. So for example, last year's cleaning and televising, we rated every defect that we found either being critical, high, medium, or low. And this year we're addressing those critical locations with a sewer lining program, which is currently out to bid. And then there were also 5 very critical areas that required open cut repairs, which were just done last week.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve.
Support.
All right, the motion is made and supported to award the bid to Duke's Root Control to the cost of $90,812. There's 4 other bids. Paymar Enterprises is $95,000. Taplin Group, $95,200. Safeway Transport, $110,449. And Advanced Underground Inspections, $135,738. Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Kufa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
Hall?
Yes.
Bowles?
Yes.
Westrick?
Yes.
Schottler?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We'll go to E, approve recommendation for Clutcher Park improvements. Is this you, Ryan?
Yep,
Okay.
be me again.
Yeah.
So we took bids for improvements. Basically, the improvements involve adding parking areas both along Palmer and Goff, and then sidewalks, concrete sidewalks along Palmer and Goff, and then a pathway going across basically the center of the park, along with some sidewalks leading into the new splash pad. We received 5 bids on May 28th for that. The low bid was received from Asphalt Specialists LLC for $148,134. The highest bid received was $247,000. We had quite a range on this one. But we've worked with Applied Specialists or Asphalt Specialists on several projects in the past, and they've done good work for us, and we recommend it. They received the award on this project.
Make the motion to approve.
Support.
Motion is made, supported. Questions?
I have just one question. It says curb and guttering. Is that refurbishing that, or is there new curb and guttering around parking spots? Just where exactly is that?
So there's going to be some curb and gutter that's removed in order to put the parking spaces in, and then there will be some new curb and gutter in the parking areas and, yeah, just at the parking areas.
Okay.
Yep.
The other bids were James P. Contracting for 161.8, Birmingham Seal Coat 198.2, Genoa Contracting 236, and Aztec Asphalt 247. I got a question here, Ryan, if you want to sit down. If we need, we'll bring it back up.
You gotta add some sidewalk down Palmer and Golf, and you give the contract to an asphalt company, the sidewalks concrete?
Yeah, the concrete work would be subcontracted out, so they'll be using a subcontractor to do that work. But yes, there will be concrete sidewalk installed along Palmer from the west limits of the park to Goff, and then Goff from Palmer up to the entrance into the park there off of Goff.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, call the roll, please.
Laporte,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Bowles,
Yes.
Westrick,
Yes.
Kotler,
Yes.
Kufa,
Yes.
Cedar.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Vote to approve purchase for Dodge Durango St. Clair Police Department Chief.
Yeah, you have your packet in front of you. I typically, this next budget year, 25-26 would be the year that we would put in our budget capital outlay for a patrol vehicle. However, Mr. Bishop was talking with the county, and they have reimbursed us for our F-150 that we bought during the COVID pandemic, and they're in the process of reimbursing us for the Durango we bought during the pandemic. So since that money is coming, I'd like to buy the car now. And what you have before you, there's two of them. LaFontaine can order a 2025, and that's 6 to 8 months out. Or Galeana in Warren has a 2024 brand new on the lot. They got 20 of them, and we could get it by Friday. So that's up to you. There's about a $2,000 difference. LaFontaine's is state bid. Galeana's is under state bid because they're 2024s. But we don't resell our vehicles, so I don't care if it's a 2024, it's brand new. So it doesn't really matter if it's 2024 or 2025.
So the advantage then is getting it faster.
That's
Big thing. I also know on the LaFontaine bid, there's a few options they have on there, like the fleet key, the keying of the fleet key, deactivation of rear windows. Looks like about $1,300 or $1,400 worth of stuff.
right.
Are we going to be getting that stuff, those items?
That the
Or is that
dealer.
gonna be additional?
Yeah, the salesman, I don't know. He didn't know right off the bat when I typed this up, so I don't know if Galeana has that or not. And they had also ordered. That's why he's trying to clear his lot. I tried to get him to go 5,000 below state bid, but he wouldn't do it. But he's got to get rid of 20 before he can buy his 2025s. He's got to get rid of 20 2024s before he can buy his 2025s. And maybe if this is approved, maybe by the end of the week he might come down to $5,000. I don't know, but the negotiations were. I just wanted to get it out here now, since we got money coming in, and.
Chief, that comes with a 3-year warranty?
Yes, typical.
Bumper to
factory
bumper?
Bumper to bumper.
Okay, so I know on the 24 you put a fuel pump in it, not under warranty.
Well,
I'm just
actually,
kind of wondering how that was going to work.
we're actually fighting with, I've been fighting with Chrysler.
And that was because of the lights added?
That's
what I was told.
Yeah,
I'm just asking.
Yeah, that's what they
So if we
said.
get new lights in this, they'll void the warranty on that one too?
That was the first time since I've been chief that a dealership has refused to work on a car because we upfitted it. And that's part of my fight with Auburn Hills. It's like, it's under warranty. Nothing that the upfitters did touched a fuel pump. And,
So on the original one, they denied the claim. They wouldn't work.
correct. Actually,
Cop car.
the first 3 times, their mechanic couldn't figure it out. The 4th time, they denied it, and then Tri-City fixed it. So, and
We're
then-
still trying to get the money back. from
Right, we're still trying to get money back. Because it was under warranty. And my conversations with Auburn Hills is, it's under warranty, and your mechanics couldn't fix it. I took it to Chrysler Mechanics 3 times, they couldn't fix it. So I took it to a mechanic, and they fixed it. So we're still fighting.
Oh, sorry. Is the time element critical enough to say, here's what I'm getting at, I guess, when it's this close and there's a local dealership
Right.
or company or whatever, I would always like to lean towards going with the local guy. But if you tell me that the time element is critical, because if they can get it to you quicker, are we,
Well, the critical part really is LaFontaine has ordered 6 already. So the first 6 police departments that come and say, I want one of those 6, get it. Otherwise, we got to wait for them to order another 3, 4, 6. So they've already ordered 6 with no takers. So they'll take the first 6 police agencies and say, I want that Durango, I want 2 of those Durangos, I want 4 of those Durangos.
so am I hearing that Fontaine potentially could get it to you quicker?
No, they can't get it quicker, but we could lose out on that if we don't tell them, like this week, that we want one of those they
Oh,
ordered.
okay, all right.
So then we'll kick it down the road farther.
Can we wait 8 months? Is it critical on our end to have it now versus 8 months?
We can wait. Yeah, we can wait.
But we need
mean,
to
we're
make a
just-
decision now.
Yeah, we're just, it's regular maintenance. So we're under 100,000 on all of our cars but one. So we can get one right now or we wait.
But if you had to wait the 6 months or whatever it is, you're all right.
I can say that now. If, God forbid, one of them wrecks tomorrow or, that's the unknown in this world.
Yeah. Well, I guess in my heart is like it's a $2,000 difference, and there's a local guy that can.
In a year newer,
It's a year newer.
24 to 25 is a year
Right.
newer for $2,000. I mean, you don't need it right now, why not wait?
Right? And we can. I mean, I can call them tomorrow and take one of those 6 and then just wait for it to come in. And there's, you see on LaFontaine's, there's a couple dollar a mile delivery fee, but LaFontaine local, they send a guy to get it for free. They don't charge me. That's what they did with the last one that we bought from LaFontaine. They sent 2 guys from Lansing to go pick it up.
Yeah, I think with the questions and the options that we need and the delivery, I think the difference is less than 2,000.
Right? I would
So
agree
it-
with that.
And I would love to get you a car tomorrow, I understand that, but we're dealing local, which is always great. And I think we're getting more car just in the model year and options.
It's only a couple grand, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can call them tomorrow and grab one of them 6, if it's your wish. You also, before you make your motion, there's also upfit. We got to make it a police car, so that's going to be anywhere from 10 to 12,000 without price and everything out.
Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will not, because of the Durango, we're not going to get a cage on this one, because the cage we got on the current one, a 4th grader is about as much as you can get in that back seat safely. And then you got to call someone else to take you prisoner. It's just too tight. So we're not going to put a cage in the new one. We figured the troopers have been doing it for 100 years without cages. We can have one patrol car without a cage safely, so.
And LaFontaine will stand behind it with the lights added? Should we
Yes.
find that out?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
I just-
And they'll pick this up, so we don't have to pay that delivery fee that's on there.
Yeah.
I just don't know if we have to add the upfit in this one, or if I price it out once I get it and then bring it back to you. That money can come out of the ARPA funds too, so.
So I'm going to make a motion then to approve the purchase of the Durango from LaFontaine at the cost of $43,213.
I'll support.
All right, the motion may support questions. All right, let's call the roll, please.
Hall,
Yes.
Bull,
Yes.
Westrick,
Yes.
Gottler,
Yes.
Koopa,
Yes.
Laporte,
Yes.
Cedar.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Hey, do you want me to come back before you and price out the upfitting, or how do you want me to
I
do
say
that?
get it priced now so you can move when you get it.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. Go to G, approve schedule of fiscal year 26 budget workshops and public hearing. Shane, what do you got cooking for us on this?
Clerk and I sat down to map out the schedule so that we would follow the charter requirements. Obviously, per charter, it has to be approved by September 30th. So recommending scheduling the first budget workshop for 5 PM on August 4th, and if needed, 5 PM on August 18th, so that we have some flexibility if needs to get done. And then September 2nd would be the public hearing on the budget.
Right. So I'll need a motion to the effect of scheduling those public hearings on August 4th, August 18th at 5 o'clock, and Tuesday, September 2nd, for the 6 o'clock public hearing for fiscal year 26 budget.
So moved.
Support.
Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let's go to number 9, claims and accounts, June 5, June 12, 2025.
Hearing no questions, Your Honor, I make a motion to approve as presented.
Support.
Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go to number 10, public questions and comments. Anybody have anything, non-agenda items that they want to bring up tonight? Ask you to keep it to 3 minutes if you would, please. All right, we'll go to number 11. Mayor and council members' comments and announcements. Obviously, we don't meet before the 4th of July now, do we?
Not.
You do
We don't meet next till July 7th.
July 7th.
Your Honor, I have one thing. The Rotary Club would like to have the city manager join the Rotary Club every Monday.
All right.
We picked up what it was for the city manager.
Motion to that effect?
I don't recall if that was. Is there food involved? Okay.
Yes, there is a dinner, yes.
Every Monday at noon.
Not a particular problem.
I guess we'll just have the administrative director to make Steve DeShane a member of the Rotary Club.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mike. Anybody else? 4th of July fireworks at dusk.
Yes.
When it's dark, yeah.
It gets dark, you know. The road's closing Thursday night from Vine to J. Opening Friday, Saturday morning. Closing Friday night.
Thursday night.
Thursday night. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm mixing this up, man. Closing Thursday night, opening Saturday morning. Anybody else?
I'd like to thank Mr. Kinswater for his help on the fireworks and the offshore race. Both are coming up.
Okay. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Have a good 4th, everybody. Be safe. Take care of yourselves out there.